Welcome back, Mystery Seekers, to another episode of the Mystery Society. We have a very special episode for you today because we actually have a guest host who's going to be telling us a story. This is our friend Hailee, and she has a mystery from the sea to match this season to share with you all. So, Hailee, what mystery are you going to be covering today?
Ooh, I'm going to be covering the mystery of the Mary Celeste.
Nice. Love it.
Not to be confused
Classic.
with the Marie Celeste, which does not exist. All right, so first things first. Mary Celeste was actually not originally going to be called the Mary Celeste. It started out as the Amazon, which is just a
terrible
fun
name, I
little
think.
thing.
Yeah, you shouldn't
know,
have the in your ship name. It's just
you really should.
Yeah.
You really should.
No.
That's also already like a jungle.
I was like, it's been done before. This is like you're repeating.
the Amazon 2. Please.
Amazon, yeah, at least Amazon 2, like Amazon Squared, something.
That's kind of a cool name, Amazon too.
I would get on that boat. Okay, so she was an American merchant, a little brigantine, like a brig. So essentially, like your very basic pirate ship.
Okay.
If you know.
I like where
I don't know
this
what
is
a
going.
brigantine is. Thank you. She started off in New York, November 7th, 1872, so way back in the day, and she was headed over to Genoa, Italy, with, get it, 1,700 barrels of alcohol.
Yeah, that's a party.
She's a party boat. And also, okay, my favorite part too, like this, if you're gonna sail a ship, you really like, there is no better name than Captain Benjamin Spooner Briggs.
Ah,
Like
wow.
you are a brig sailing a brig.
Yeah.
You're a brig on a brig. He was born for it, and he
love
took
this.
his wife and their 2-year-old daughter, so you've got like 3 brigs on a brig.
The whole
It's just-
family?
Yeah. So there was the 3 of them on the boat, plus 7 crew members, so little baby crew, little baby crew of 10. It was found abandoned on December 5th, almost a full month later, in 1872, same year, obviously. 400 nautical miles from the Azores Islands, which I kind of had to look this up to figure out where it was, which is 1,000 miles west of Portugal,
Wow.
not Italy, for you geography
That's the
people.
wrong
Oh.
direction, it sounds like, completely.
Yeah, you know, a little bit, just like a little smidge, just
Yeah.
a little
I'm
bit.
starting to think that these guys are still kind of figuring out sailing while we are
Yeah.
Yeah.
for some of our stories.
Yeah, it kind of made me think. I was like, oh, do you still have those 1,700 barrels here in Portugal now? I was
Probably
like, is
running
that-
low on alcohol now.
Yeah, a little bit. Eventually, when it was found by the British brig De Gratia.
Wow.
This is
Yeah.
a ship brig, not a
Yes.
not a captain.
Not
brig.
a captain brig, a ship brig.
Right, okay.
The second brig. It had appeared to be quickly abandoned, so this is where it gets kind of weird. And this is where when I was researching it, I was like, oh, so this is like Roanoke of the ocean. This is cool. When they boarded the ship, they found that everything was in perfect order. Like even the crew's clothes and things were put away. The only things and the only clues that were missing and kind of like out of place was that the lifeboat was missing. So obviously, somehow they got out of there.
Okay.
And then a disassembled pump in the hold, which basically, because I was like, why do you have a pump on a boat? But this pump was to go down into the hold and like suck out any water that might get in, because it's like an old ship, you know, it's
Right.
wood, like water, you know. Water
So you'd
does
have to
its
like
thing.
pump it up from the lower levels out.
Yeah, or like check, like, you know, make sure it's not like too much in there.
Okay.
The last log too, because obviously they have a ship's log going on, was on November 25th.
Obviously.
There you go, ship log.
Obviously.
Yeah. All mine were British, they just didn't care.
Yeah, no, the Brits, they don't.
Yeah, they don't care at all about it.
They're like,
I
we do
guess.
this all the time, we don't need that.
We know where the ship's going.
Some of our audience could be British. All right, guys. Let's not alienate them.
British people can't read.
Oh, also they had 6 months of food and water on board, so they were like pretty set.
Like still left on board, or when
Still
they set
left
out?
on board.
Oh, jeez.
Still left on board, yeah. So like they could have been going for a while, so it was also kind of like, why did these people just get the heck out of here?
Yeah.
One little thing too that they did find was 3 feet of water in the hold, but other than that, it was totally seaworthy. And the things that I found said that it's not like a panic-worthy amount. It's
No.
just kind of like you're in the ocean, like you have water there. What do you expect?
Okay.
Kind of amount.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
So the De Gratia crew sailed it to, I'm so gonna butcher this place, but it's called Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
Oh, Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know that?
Keep going.
Great. This was 800 miles away. Basically, this was also them too trying to salvage any money from the ship's insurance, which I guess it's like normal back in the day. You know, you find
Okay,
a letter and try to
that's
get some
funny.
money from it. They actually only ended up getting a sixth of the $46,000 that it was insured for, because the insurance company was like, okay, you found a boat.
Right.
There's no crew.
Right.
It's in pretty good condition. Like, okay, all right. I see you. But the interesting is though that even they did a thorough investigation of it, because obviously that's, you know, like what insurance company's supposed to do. And they didn't even find anything, no evidence. They thought maybe like the crew drank alcohol and mutinied, but there was no signs of violence. Maybe they still drink the alcohol.
I was leaning towards the alcohol.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. How old was his daughter? 3?
2.
His 2-year-old daughter. She got wasted and just like marooned them all on an island.
100%. 100%.
And
Just
she got
saw
to a
one
new
of the
island and
barrels.
she's like, I don't know how to sail.
Ooh, a few others. Okay, they thought maybe these are some of the things that some of the reasons why maybe it, you know, they disappeared. Maybe the ship was raided, but no valuables were missing. There was no evidence that the alcohol caused fumes or an explosion, which would, you know,
Smart
possibly
to
explain
check for
why
that.
why they wanted to get off the ship.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have missed this episode, Hailee. Nate did an episode this season, and the whole crew went missing and trying to figure out what happened to him. And basically, it turned out that one of the people who was packaging their supplies accidentally let lead slip into all of their containers of food, and he gave them all lead poisoning, and they all went crazy.
Really?
So like, yeah, at first I was like, oh, it's the alcohol, like that. But then I was like, nah. And then you mentioned the fumes. I was like, that's smart to think of those things. Like, even the alcohol fumes, like.
Ooh, fun fact, which I thought I was like, ooh, look, a little celebrity jumped onto this mystery. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle himself wrote a short story called J. Habakkuk Jepson's Statement, which is a mouthful.
J. Habakkuk's
Jepson's Statement.
That's cool.
Speculating, and this is totally false because it was a former slave seeking revenge, and that's like he killed the crew or whatever, like made them disappear. And it was set, he was the survivor of a ghost ship called the Marie Celeste, if you will, Marie. So like same, but different. Okay, most reasonable theory, and unfortunately this is not as fun, as exciting as, you know, a ghost ship, which would be fantastic. Reasonable theory is that it was super off course, which it was, by 120 miles west of where it should have been. And this was hypothesized in 2002, actually, by a woman named Anne McGregor, who was investigating it. So the idea was that he, like, basically, you know, got off course, probably drinking too much wine, and just didn't know what was going on. And since the pump broke and a little bit of water got in, like those 3 feet, they spotted land 3 days later than they expected. So they were assuming to have found, like, maybe not the place that they were supposed to go, but like a place 3 days sooner. And so it was speculated that maybe they decided, like, hey, let's cut our losses. You know, the pump's broken, like a little bit of water is getting in, there's some land, let's go to it. But even then, it's pretty unlikely that he would abandon ship, because you're a captain and that's like,
Yeah, that's
baby,
the whole
you know what I mean?
point,
Like,
yeah.
you go down with the ship,
Yeah.
you know, and your 2-year-old daughter. And
I
wife.
don't know if I would say, I don't think I could see that that conversation, like, there's 10 of us. The insurance will pay for it. Come on. Leave with us. No, I have to go down with my ship. So that theory is then that they abandoned the ship because of all that, and what, the ship did it run aground? Like it kept sailing and ran aground?
It didn't run aground. So like when the what was their ship called? When the De Gratia, when they found it, it was sailing erratically. So it wasn't like it didn't like hit land or anything. It was just kind of like doing its own thing in the ocean.
Oh, it was just out in open water.
Yeah, but it was just like they had tried to hail it, and you know, and we're like, hey, what are you guys doing? And like nobody obviously answered. And that's when they boarded it, and we're like, hey, everything looks pretty, you know, normal here. Like what's going on? And then after that, then they were like, well, if nobody's on the ship, like, let's try to get some money, because that was a lot of money.
That's so crazy. Could you imagine, like, trying to hail a ship and then you get close to it and you get on and you're like, oh, there's nobody on the ship? That would be terrifying.
I would get out instantly.
I'd be like, all right, well, let's get back on our ship.
home.
We're going home. We're ending everything. That's
And
fucked.
to be the crew members who are like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave my perfectly sound ship that was just doing its thing in the ocean.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to jump on the ship that has nobody on it. We don't know why they left their ocean. And I'll sail it to land for all of us.
And they never found the crew, right?
No, they never
Nobody
found the
from
crew,
it.
like nobody. Like they just disappeared.
Very interesting.
Well, where is it now, you might ask? It is.
I was gonna ask.
It is in the ocean still.
Oh, wait.
Just not on top of it. in it.
They just
Hey.
let it.
The insurance company before thought that that ship who found it, right, might be like trying to do a little insurance fraud.
Right.
Yeah.
Not them, but Captain G.C. Parker, that salty man, he ran it into a reef in Haiti in 1885, trying to commit insurance fraud.
Oh wow.
The same ship?
The same ship. Same ship. Didn't sink it either. Didn't even sink the
Worked
ship.
once.
But it was damaged beyond repair. So they just left it in the reef, which I guess
Then it sank?
you do.
I mean, that's
Also,
really
like-
funny to me that this turned out to just be like a big insurance fraud mystery
Yeah.
above everything else. Like,
Yeah.
ghost ship, but then after the ghost ship, it's just a million people trying to get insurance money out of the same
Yeah.
ship. That's really funny to me.
Yeah, like, hey, this whole crew disappeared and everything. There was like basically a family on board,
Yeah.
but like, ship was a lot of money, so like priorities.
That's
Well, that was very cool. Yeah.
very
creepy.
like little to
bit,
go off
yeah.
of there. Like, yeah, I like the insurance thing because it's like it connects some dots. I
Yeah.
don't think it's
Yeah.
very likely, but also there's nothing else to go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Nobody to
signs
ask,
of
no
where
real
they
proof.
Went.
Just kind of.
We don't have graves turning up years later of these 8 people that went missing.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, nothing at all.
I feel like it's most likely that they, for whatever reason that they abandoned ship, that their lifeboat just didn't make it to land.
Oh yeah, I think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, the Atlantic Sea and everything like that. Especially if they would have abandoned it to get away from bad weather. If they saw like some land that they were trying to get to, I'm like,
Sure.
okay,
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
Could have been some other kind of sea sickness, sea madness.
yeah.
Maybe they ran into a siren.
I was gonna say siren. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
There was theories about like sea
Siren.
monsters.
Yeah. I
You
think it
know.
was a siren
I think
and
that
then a
was
sea
fun.
monster.
Well, thank you so much for coming on our show and telling us that wonderful mystery. We were very glad to have you. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you want to see more, like and subscribe, and we'll see you hopefully next season with some more content.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.